Unless I'm actually saying, well, honey, we're going to go here today, and I'm going to show you some of the resources like at the senior center, they'll go. But they will not go by the what I'm
But let's put it down at the bottom and ask for whether it's prescription forms and then it comes. Now, these are all possibilities.
But I'm hearing.
But in terms of Medicare, you have to remember, even if you're a citizen, you don't get it for free. You earned it through your work history. And there's things like open enrollment periods, like for the
We take them to the senior center. We go with them.
Food, obviously, because she doesn't have money, so food could be a problem as well. And transportation, because all of this is dependent on finance. Because she doesn't have money, we are thinking there's going to be shortage of food, transportation, and of course, because there's no money, she has no outlet to go, so she has a problem of, socialization. She's not being able to, go from one end to the other end. Once we've identified these problems, definitely first to begin with, we want to make sure she's secured with enough food at home. So we're going to refer her to food stamps. Because she's 17 and she has been in the U.S. for 5 years only, and she's had a green card for 4 years. So she does not really qualify for SSI, correct? So because there's an obligation, a legal obligation that's signed by her daughter, because daughter sponsored her, so daughter is under the obligation to keep her with her for 10 years, but because daughter is going through the hardship period, her obligation ends at this point, correct? Is that right, Sandy? So, when the daughter's obligation ends because of the hardship, now this lady, because she's still not a citizen, can receive CAPI. And
is 69 years old. He has a green card. He has a medical. The father was in a war-torn country and had witnessed many killings. The family doesn't want to go to a mental health clinic because they do not want to be seen. And
Hello. Okay, so my name is May. These are things that we considered. The first one, obviously, the first person in mind would be Ms. Mandy, the senior helpline, and for possible case management. And then the big bullet that we have, really, we know what nationality they have, but it seems that it's something that we must really consider. So we were looking at mobile mental health, which, and hopefully, for psychiatric evaluation. And the big two things in psychiatric evaluation would be, possible therapy for a possible PTSD. And since we have a little bit of a problem with maybe seeing a professional social worker or therapist.
The following describes the situation. The father is 65 years old, turned 65 last month. He is a U.S. citizen, and the father was diagnosed with cancer 2 months ago. So he had to stop working. He doesn't have any insurance. He's having hard time because physically he cannot manage and cannot be left alone. Even though the father lives with the son, but the son has to work during the day and cannot take care of him. Where do we go from here?
Well, to begin with, we know this gentleman is 65 years old. He's also a U.S. citizen, which could prove a lot of good things. We don't know if he worked, did he make enough money, what's going on with him. So we're going basically on assumption. And he claims he has no insurance. So we'll start off with insurance. We have to first figure out for him about his health insurance. What can he afford? Does he have the money? Is he eligible for Medi-Cal? Could he have Medicare behind him? Could he have worked? Could he have been a veteran? So all these things have to be investigated. But first priority goes to what kind of a health insurance is going to need.
Her great aunt. The aunt is 80 years old. She lives alone. Niece is worried because her aunt doesn't go out much. Aunt is very social, but most of her friends either passed away or cannot visit her anymore, and most of the family members work and have families. Niece also tells us that if you take food to her aunt, she will eat it. But sometimes she forgets to eat lunch.
Thank you. So, in general, our group thinks like, we should not use Mandy word as a Google, So we need to get some information before, we go to her. It's a very limited information. The niece comes to you and tells you that her aunt is, not doing too much socialization, not eating. So it's a very limited information to jump to conclusion. So first of all, we need to focus on the process, get more information. And in this scenario, you have a good contact, which is the niece. She can connect to the senior, so you can further get more information, which is, we don't know her medical condition, we don't know her medical status, what kind of benefits she has. We even don't know her financial status and other arrangements, so we need to get that one first. And then looking at the scenario, we as a group feel like there is a possibility she's 80-year-old and she lives alone. She might need medical alert if she has any kind of situation because she's alone. She's definitely depressed because her friends passed away and nobody is visiting her. So that's a possibility. She forgot to eat lunch. That's a big signal to us, like, that's the most important thing. If you forget eating, that means you're forgetting other things too. So dementia could be another issue here. Social support, since she was very outgoing and now nobody is going to her, so she needs maybe peer counseling or somebody visiting her. And she's 80-year-old and she lives alone. I don't know, we don't know the situation. She might need a fall prevention program. So that's another thing, there's a possibility. So, and she might not be able to drive, so transportation is another issue. So those are all missing information there in this scenario, which we need to answer for. Thank you.
Thank you. So a round of applause for all the groups, for all the work that they've done